Anywho, I have clicked the record button. We are into the deck docs, and you're going to tell me about this awesome Eren Yeager deck that you have under the fire symbol. Hit me with it.
Yeah, so the idea of this deck is one of two things. So the first one is I've thought about, okay, what character kind of gets to go toe-to-toe with Reiner? I think Reiner is right now the boogeyman, arguably, of the set.
Okay.
And I like, the one thing that Reiner makes Reiner really strong is that he gets to ruin you on your offensive turn, stopping your string. So I was like, what deck can I put together that says, Reiner, if you want to ruin me, it punishes you as well. Yes, it hurts me a little bit, but my goal is my attack strings in this deck is to just say I don't care about my foundations because I'm ignoring progressive difficulty the entirety of the way.
Sure.
Hence why I have the Twisting Azures, I have the Blue Flame Torments, I have Echo's Wing Nomu, I have then also the busted card of the set, Risky Encounter.
Yeah.
Like I have all these cards that say, hey, they're easier to play, they're not playing an actual progressive. The goal is to not need my foundations anyway. So with Eren, my idea is, hey, Reiner, if you transform on my turn and you start blowing up my stage, I'm going to keep responding, destroying yours back. So that way you don't get on your turn, you don't get the stage that you think you're going to have to come back at me and kill me when I'm also at 34, 20 some health.
Sure.
So I was looking at that, and at first, my first idea was, hey, like with Eren on Fire was with that Fury package, but then I looked into it and I'm like, I didn't enjoy playing the list as much. Where with this one, I love the idea of the attack package of just saying I don't have progressive, and it has the little like tech pieces to stop some of the cards that are right now prevalent in the set. My big issue right now, I would say, is consistency. Like I consistently can like survive to turn 3, turn 4.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is not finding like on the turn I have 9 going. I hold like say 1 or 2 attacks in my hand going into my turn. I draw my hand and I draw not many attacks, and I go, well, now I don't get to do as much because I still need to count to the number, obviously. And my main goal is to have 1 momentum going into that turn that I kill you, so I can Wing Nomu Echo. Because Wing Nomu, if you can't block it, it's 18 damage just flying at your face if you don't have the block for it.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's kind of like the win con is just Wing Nomu, and like that's kind of the idea of saying all these lows to say, hey, hold the low block to block these lows, but if you don't have the high block, you can't block Wing Nomu or Risky, and those just kill you anyway.
Sure.
That's kind of the idea.
That's fair.
Kind of the idea list. I only play 1 mid attack. That's Twisting Azure because it's just that good.
Sure. Yeah, because you get the +4 off of the flip side.
Yeah, +4. Yeah, and then like the card I have play some actions to say if you have any damage hate, I get damage, or I play Rash Decisions. So if you say -1 to put it to like 6 or something, I can find a way to give that 1 back.
Rash Decisions.
So it's kind of that
sure. idea. Yeah. That's neat.
So like little niche ways to do things.
Okay, so here's my my big thing about Eren as a character is he on his front side he's terrible. I think he's really bad on his front side, but transformed the Attack Titan pretty good, being able to pick up and do pretty impressive things. Whenever I was playing this deck, instead of playing Winged Nomu, I was playing Prominence Burn. But I like Wing Nomu as an idea. I think Wing Nomu is very cool if you've got the momentum. Yeah, it's very neat. Like it's a lot of damage, and like it has its own destroy factor on it. It's pretty good.
Yep.
What I'm nervous about with Wing Nomu is what happens. Let's pretend that you're fighting against Reiner, right?
Yep.
And he, before you are able to transform, is able to just break your stuff and never let you have the 9 foundations. Right? That's what I'm nervous about. And Winged Nomu on the front side is not very good.
I guess going into that, if Reiner's able to transform, then I just mirror his transform. Because that means, both of us can. I would just mirror his transformation because he can't ruin me until he gets another enhance off, right? Because he has to enhance, do the thing, respond, or enhance in some way to destroy a foundation to respond to flip.
Yeah.
And then I'd flip mine, and I just go, hey, Eren, mill my 2, transform. Now you have to worry about the ruin on my board on your face, or whatever, next turn. That's kind of the idea, I guess, that I would go into it with. And I understand where you're coming from. It's like, what happens if he transforms on his turn, and he ruins my board, and I don't have a board to work with?
Yeah.
And I've had that happen before, where like he gets to transform in his turn, and he ruins that board down to like 2 foundations or less, like 2 or 3 foundations. And what I've found is, as long as I'm on Attack Titan side, I tend to be able to I can still count like 20 something on with like no foundations because of Twisting Azure and Blue Flame, as long as I have that momentum to work with.
Sure.
And Reiner doesn't always block everything. It feels like
Yeah,
because he plays with the health.
Yeah. Okay. So attack wise, like the only thing that like was quote unquote different from mine was just like you're playing a Wing and Nomu. And I wasn't playing Freezer Burn. I think that I was doing other Fury stuff. Like
yeah, I think you had Furies.
Yeah. Just because like I wanted like you said the consistency of like drawing bonus cards on whatever. So if none of your cards say draw except for Bad Guy Roundup, and it is at a it's at a 3 of. So what if we just like took Freezer Burn down to the 2 of and put Bad Guy Roundup up to the 4 of?
Okay.
I guess those are opposite block zones. Hold on. Let's look at our actual blocks.
My block zones are pretty balanced. My block zones are pretty balanced overall. So like I don't mind it. It's not gonna mess it up that much because I'm pretty sure I have like 20 some lows, 20 some mids, highs, and more mids than anything. I think or something like that.
Yeah. There. How do we feel about 71?
I'm not in love with the number. It was at 68 the other day.
Sure.
But then I was like, okay, my goal is to play in the webcam tournament on the 7th, and then also I'm going to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have to put in stuff to also like. My main idea was to first make the deck run optimally, and then find the stuff that I need to tech for certain matchups. Like for example, like what do I do when somebody just barrier shields me? That's why I put in 1-0 stopping for breakfast to kind of like say if I find it, cool. I have my tech piece to kind of stop those like that thing from doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's also what Freezer Burn was in there for. Because I've seen many people try to barrier shoot my Freezer Burn, and I go, you forgot this card said no.
Sure.
And it destroys my foundation to make you ruin one as well. And like earlier today, I played one where I destroyed a foundation of Freezer Burn, destroyed Smiling Death, flipped their defensive piece, responded Eren, and ruined it.
Sure.
Because I got to flip it then ruin. So it's like it has some neat tech to it that I can stop certain interactions, and sometimes people don't block and they go, I'm gonna wait to do my interaction until it's like lethal, and then I play Freezer Burn when it is lethal and I go, hey, your interaction no longer works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of idea.
That's fair.
But I think the big thing for me is like I have some Mikasa sideboard. Like Mikasa is a scary one because again she just kills people, obviously, and that's what Hero's Upbringing is in the sideboard for.
Sure.
Because I can just disable her character.
Why are you playing one man in our deck?
So just in case, say for example, I transform, and I haven't gotten a lot of my discard pile, it allows me to hopefully find like my Tutoring Kirishimas in my to make them hit my discard pile, to find my Luster Battles, put them in my discard pile, and then just to fill my discard pile up to give me more options when I transform, hopefully. And to find my risk encounters.
There is an idea where maybe because of that we like get rid of some of these here ignites, like drop it down to like a 3 of, and I think if you're going to do this, I think this should be a 2 of, and this should be a 4 of, just because your character doesn't give the speed, right? Just like inherently.
Yeah.
And like I think that like that's such a small sub theme of milling things with one man that like we just like don't need it, right?
That's
and like our
okay,
difficulty curve is like we've got 9 zeros. That's plenty. That's so many.
Yeah. Agreed.
I don't think that you need 3 rash because of the fact that we already have 4 frightening calm. And I like frightening calm a lot in your deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love I fall in love with frightening calm. That card wins big games.
I think rash could drop down to a 2 of, and I want to cut 1 attack to make it 22 in whatever, right? Like I'm trying to get this like to 68. And I'm not positive which attack to cut. My gut says blue flame. Or my gut says a singular wing and Nomu. Just because you can go pick it up with Eren. Whenever
I think if I had like so, are you saying cut 1 blue flame or 1 wing? You're saying?
Yeah, make this a 2 of, make this a 3 of.
I'd be fine with blue flame torment at a 3. The reason why, because at 2 of wing Nomu, there may just be a time that I don't see that card ever at 2 of. And like blue flame, it's nice to see, and blue flame's an 11 damage moving damage, which feels really good if they don't pass the check of 6.
Sure.
And so it's a really scary move that comes at them. And Wing Nomu, though, it's like, when I see Wing Nomu, like 90% of the games I see Wing Nomu, usually I kill them. Because it's just 2 attacks that they can't deal with all the time.
It's crazy we're not playing 4 capturing. Is that That seems crazy to me,
That was
right?
because I couldn't find the space. I didn't know what to get rid of for the low blocks. Like incubating, I think is really strong.
Yeah.
And I think incubating is I gotta want to play incubating at a 4 of, but like at a 2 of it needs to see it. But I just don't know what get rid of for the capture the targets. I do love capture the target. The card has been super good in my deck because of this re-readies all the time.
Yeah, it just like it's like a bonus copy of this, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be that and also freezer burn.
Yeah,
Essentially.
I don't think that you need avoiding the conflict. I think it's extra. Even though I know that you're milling on your front side, everything that you've said to me is like, hey, I'm on the back side. I'm hyper nuts, and this card is like not. It's fine. It's fine.
I guess that card was in there for the Twisting Edger for the security of, hey, if you happen to reduce it to a point where you need the 2 damage back, it's good to play. But I understand, I wouldn't hate getting rid of it. Because I have other ways to pump damage. And I guess it frees up space for maybe another barrier shield. Because again, barrier shield is really important with like Smiling Titan being a thing.
How often does Tuning Kirishima trigger?
I would say it triggers not all the time, but a good amount of time. It's just nice when like I go on like just turn 2, and they went first, and I have a character ready. I can go, hey, I mill my 2, and if I hit a Tutoring Kirishima, I flip 1. I can say, hey, if I don't block it, I flip 1, and now you flip 2 on your turn when you probably only have 4 to 5 built, and so you have to pick your good, usually something good on your board to get rid of. That's why I like the idea of the card. I've thought about just tossing it, but I do like the idea of like flipping my opponent's board down, like how Reiner does, where my response is more value.
Yeah.
But I don't know what your opinion is on that.
I think that this card is overkill when you already have Smiling Death, which is just a better version of this card, right?
That's fair.
Like this card's very good early, but we want to just build these and then do the flip thing, right?
Okay, yeah. That's fair, yeah. I don't hate that.
The other thing that I'm noticing is that your Season Brawler is only at a 2 of instead of a 4 of, which like punishes them for blocking attacks and lets you draw harder, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, the drawing was an issue.
Yep.
And so it might even be like, let's take this Rash down to a 1 of, and then kick this back up by 1. And that keeps our block zones the same. And I want 4 Season Brawler in my deck just because like I'm trying to go for the throat, but I get it. Like,
yeah,
like I don't know what else to add or cut or whatever.
Yep.
Unless it's like take Barrier Shield out of the main board, in which case you'll just die to Smiling.
Yeah, like you just like if I think Barrier Shield is such a good card right now, and with how big things and how fast things are, it's such a Smiling. I think that card has to be the main board at minimum 2 of, if not 3, if you play on the symbol.
Yeah, so
that's
all
my
we've
opinion
done
on
at the
her.
moment is just like is mess with your numbers as opposed to add anything.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, go ahead.
With my so I guess my thing is like when it comes to like the meta characters, for example, like you have Mikasa, that's like that. Like Mikasa, I understand, like she's easily top 10, like are you like definitely top 5, probably like if you're really looking at it. She just kills people. And then you have Reiner, who's really annoying because he just makes the game annoying to play.
Yeah.
I played against a Mimic with Eren, and I didn't hate the matchup. I ended up winning 2 to 1. Just because counting to 25 isn't hard, and counting to 34 sometimes feels hard.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I don't hate the Mimic matchup. I think Mimic's really strong right now. I guess I need to find. I was wondering if you knew any pieces I should put in on like the fire symbol or like the Death Attune symbol that can stop what either Mikasa's doing besides just Hero's upbringing, and or what would stop like say your Ymir's. Ymir can be really annoying with how big she gets her moves and how fast they get big, like those kind of decks. Like what would you think would be good tech pieces or things I should put in the deck for those like top decks?
I mean the answer is just 4 Barrier Shield, right? Like Barrier Shield is just the answer. You just take out your 2 avoiding, put in 2 more Barrier Shields, and like run it.
Yep. Okay.
And like this is just the idea, right?
Okay.
This combined with like last second dodge means that, and like you just put 2 more last second dodge inside your sideboard to like hit on the whatever.
Yep. Do you think I need vertical maneuver equipment in sideboard at all?
If you're not maining it, don't play it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Because like I know the card's really good, obviously, but I have no way to generate free momentum, which is what breaks this card in a way. So I guess that's the only thing. So I think I'll just take out Heroes Pro, Top Pro, and Vertical for 2 last seconds in my, I guess.
Well, we're gonna
sideboard would be
take
good.
the barrier shields and put them in the main
Oh,
board, right? We're
true.
taking out these
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because
So-
I can also play Barrier Shield on Twisting Azure if I need the damage to say you can't draw, I guess.
Correct. Yeah, like you're allowed to do
like-
that.
Yeah, like, I don't need to have the other one. That's fair.
Here's my
yeah.
like last thing about the main board. Man, I really don't think you need One Man Inferno. I think this
Okay,
is
that's
such a
fair.
sub theme. I think adding in one more copy of Capture the Targets and Incubating is just like you'll see more positive percentage points from having those 2 cards in your deck than you will from having One Man.
Okay, that's fair. I don't hate that.
Yeah.
Oh, the only question is, do you think I have enough Zero Disc that drops out to 7? I think now.
I think that you will be okay if you actually don't think so, and we just put the Ignite back to a 4 of, right? And 8 is plenty.
Yeah.
8's
Yeah, I think it's
plenty.
fine. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Just
And
capture
if
the target
you
down a little bit.
Still don't think that you have enough zeros, just kill the Tutoring Kirishima, and the Ochako card is not bad when Mikasa is stunning everything, right?
That's fair. Yeah, that's
like
true.
Mikasa's air deck is like trying to stun you out and do that stuff, and so just getting +2 to your check for you being stunned, you're gonna be stunned anyways, right?
Okay.
And I think that the percentage points that you're gonna get off of tutoring are not as this is a cute card. I do not think this is a perfect card for what's going on, because your deck is a sub I'm gonna say tertiary theme of flipping foundations or flipping their foundations so that you may ruin, but they're already gonna be flipping their own foundations.
Flipping.
Like they just are.
Fair.
Right? Like
Yeah,
in order to play the game, you have to like look at how many flip cost cards you have.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
And so like I am not a fan of tutoring, but if you're married to it, like it does
I'm not married.
accidentally give this thing 3 damage if you flip it, which is neat.
Yeah, it's like it gives a little neat like damage pump if I'm a little bit off.
But
Yeah, it's neato.
I'm not in love with it.
Okay, that's fair. I'm not married to that card. What card would you rather put in than that card? Would you say?
It's probably just the zero diff, right? Like the
Chocolate Zero?
diff foundation, just to exhausted slumber. It's
So
probably what I
flip
would
it
do.
just like stun. Your next block is +2.
Same block zone, and if anything, right? Like it just flips in and grabs more stuff. What are your thoughts on? I know our block zones are a little wonky. But what are your thoughts on, instead of freezer burn, tossing in rapid punches for extra draw? Do you value the extra resource on board, or do you value the card in hand?
So when it comes to rapid punches, I think I've always liked rapid punches. The card's really good. The thing with that I found with freezer burn is that I've won a lot of games off the back of freezer burn, because it says if I do check bad, I don't, and it's a really like good card to also fill my discard pile. But like, say I don't transform yet, and I want to find more cards in my discard pile, I don't need to discard the 3. Just like if you have no committed foundation, I can just discard 3 to hopefully find myself the attack I want for my transform turn.
Sure.
I just think that like I'm not trying to go full on this mill strategy 100%. Like I'm not trying to like mill out my deck. Like that's why I'm not playing the Endeavor 3 cards.
Yeah.
But like I do think that still filling up your discard a little bit, a lot, so that way you aren't ever scared of going like, hey, I don't have an attack I want in my discard pile, or B, I have to remove 2 cards every attack to do this thing to you, or I can't use incubating enough, or like my remove cards for discard to do my thing.
So here's the deal. You don't have to remove cards for Eren's ability.
Yeah, you don't have to, but I just think like
what I'm saying is the cost is enhanced colon. So it does not matter how many cards are in your discard pile. Removing 2 cards is an ability on this card.
wait.
If you have 0
What's
cards
the
in your
point of
discard
that?
pile, if you cycle, you've got
Yeah.
nothing in your discard pile. You can
You get
enhance
4
Eren, attempt to remove cards from your discard pile. It doesn't work. It doesn't happen. You get 4 damage.
Oh, that card's way better than that. I thought that's way better. I was like, this card's removed 2 for cost. Oh my god, I'm reading that wrong the whole time. Oh, yeah, that's fair. I've been reading that wrong the whole time. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And even okay, neat. Yeah, then I don't. I still like Freezer
The,
Burn.
the only reason that you'd want a sub theme of milling is to use the static on him
Pick
whenever you
up.
transform.
Yeah, to pick up.
That's it.
Yeah, I think with us getting rid of the zero diff that mills me, I think I want to keep Freezer Burn because I also value the cancel on Freezer Burn.
Okay.
Because I like to be able to interact with my opponent's abilities and like stopping things like stop them from making this blockable and making them have to tap their board to stop 8 damage or 9 damage.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I
So like I do value.
I think that this is an okay spot to leave with what you got going on. I think that your numbers look a little cleaner here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think this deck is really interesting. I think like the thing you're gonna have to come to terms with is like the main way that you get attack advantage, like bonus attacks, is just by playing risky encounters.
Yeah, that's what I've come to. Yeah, like I find that this card just does it.
Which means that you have to you have to be willing to build more to have the 3 foundations in order to do this stuff. But Twisting Ezra Inferno, risky encounters is not a fair combination of cards. I was playing a Wolfwood deck that was doing it, and it's less than okay.
Because like one thing I love doing is having the Twisting Azures, playing my Ignites, blowing them up to go into a risky counter, and say risky counter is actually a 0 diff attack, and say hey, catch them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they're committed, just go hey, blow up 3 Ignites, blow up 3 foundations, additional costs. They do the thing. I just blew up 6 foundations to get to way below you.
Yeah.
Because I also don't always respond with Eren if I know like hey, I need the risky counters to be scarier, because I don't want to ruin your board.
Sure.
So I want to make sure you have the foundation so a risky counter still gets the benefit of extra damage.
Yeah.
So it just depends, I guess, on the game. But yeah, I do think that getting rid of the Turin Kirishima probably is worth it in the long run for more consistent things that help me kill and or survive.
I agree fully.
That's her.
All right, buddy.
Okay.
Well, stay on the line long enough for me to shoot you the list. I think this Eren list looks good, and I think that as long as you pilot it well, get some good matchups, I think you have a good time.
Okay.
Good luck in the tournament.
Thank you. Have a good